1, 2, 3.
Welcome to Arts and Leisure on the HAN Network. This is our weekly program featuring everything that is coming up in the area's music, arts, and entertainment scene. We will interview local artists, authors, musicians, and even some nationally recognized names who may be performing here in our area. We will have movie reviews and film suggestions from the real dad, Mark Schumann, and etiquette tips from Catherine Michaels. This is your all-access pass, and here are your hosts, Arts and Leisure editor Sally Sanders and our entertainment reporter Steve Coulter.
Coulter on the couch with me as always is Sally Sanders, and we're joined with our special guest today, Steve Scales.
Thank you.
Steve's putting on a concert in Fairfield at Stage 1 Theater on Saturday night, February 6th. It's called the Jazz Rocks Benefits Concert, and you're in partnership with the Kennedy Center. How did you start working with the Kennedy Center?
I did an internship, and I went in for an interview with Barbara. Barbara put the word out that this guy's a great interview. She put my name out. And about 5 or 6 managers called up, I want him. And then Kelly, I can't pronounce her last name, Kelly Kreisner or something like that. Kelly had called me. She's a guitar player. Mm-hmm. And she said she wanted me to record with her. So she found out I was going interning. She said, he's mine. So she calls me and said, Steve, you're coming with me.
So you were in high demand.
Oh, yes, I was. I didn't know that, but I guess I was.
Well, no, you were interning because you were a student at
Housatonic, yes. Yes,
okay.
I was at Housatonic. So what happened was, Fridays we would do music, and I'd bring my congas in. And,
yeah, you teach them a little music.
Well, we jam, how about that?
Uh-huh.
And the woman who comes in every Friday, I forget her name, I'm bad with names, I'm sorry, but she's invited me to come to, which Kennedy Center sponsored site, a drummer's circle. Mm-hmm. So I said, okay, I'll be there. So I brought my kids, my kids, I love them. Well, all of us went, and then when I got there's about 100 of them, and they all had drums. And they're people who watched them. I said, back up. And I sat down with my drums, and I had 100 consumers smiling, dancing, playing drums.
Yeah,
it was
the kind of stuff
beautiful.
that inspires you.
Oh, they were great. They brought tears to my eyes, but I didn't cry. But they filmed it and took pictures, and they showed it to Marty, who's president of the company.
Right.
Marty, next thing I know, they said, the president of the company wants to meet with you.
You're that good of an intern.
Hello.
you're an A+ student.
Yeah. So Marty comes to meet me, to thank me for what I had done, and we talked. And he invited me to put together a group.
And that's how this concert was kind of born?
Yes, and the funny thing is, this is the first time I've ever put myself out front.
And now this is going to be kind of a who's who of local artists. You got a lot of famous people that are going to be at this concert. You got Chris and
I got
Tina.
Chris and Tina. Well, they asked for that right away. It's funny, when we were having our first meeting, I said, well, let me see. I got on the phone. They were in France. I said, Chris, can you do this? We'll be there. So that was that.
And for those who don't know kind of your background with Chris and Tina, the Talking Heads.
Chris and Tina.
You guys go way back to the 80s.
1980. Met them in studio. My people, I love them.
Yeah, there they are.
Met them in the studio. They would just finish Remain in Light and preparing to tour, or to do 2 shows. And they needed to fill the music, because they couldn't perform it with just the 4 of them. Mm-hmm. So Chris asked me, yes, thank you. Is that guy handsome or what? Uh-huh. So they, somebody called me and said they were looking for me. I didn't know who the heck they were. I had never heard of them, I swear to God. So I get there, and we're in this studio, and we're talking, and they asked me, certain things about how I play. I said, look, I'm going to be honest. I don't know your music. Give me a tape. I'll go home and listen to it, and I'll let you know if I think I can do this. So I took it home. My best friend, Tinker Barfield, bass player, he was with Luther Vandross at the time. I said, Tink, man, listen to this with me. These white boys want me to play with them. I don't know what they're doing. Right? So we're listening, and songs are going by. Then he said, stop the tape.
Pretty unique sound.
Yeah,
right?
he said, run it back. So we ran it back. He said, because I think that was Al Green's Take Me to the River.
Yeah.
So once we ran it back, I listened to Take Me to the River. I said, oh, these guys want to play some funk. That's not. So that's how I got in. And when I got in, it was Bernie Worrell, Adrian Belew, Buster Jones, Dolette McDonald, Nona Hendrix. We were all added to the Talking Heads. And
you toured around with them?
yeah, I did everything. Did all their albums, all their solo albums. They gave me a lot of credibility. They gave me exposure. My name was wasn't. I was playing jazz and R&B, but rock and roll. Once you play rock and roll, you personally, as a musician, you can become somebody because they write about you. You know, the next day you look at the paper. On percussion, Steve Scales. I was like, yeah. So I grew and I started playing with everybody at that time in rock and roll, just about. Tina Turner. I performed with Tina Turner, Mick Jagger, Tina Turner, Eric Clapton, Bob Dylan, Eurythmics, Pink Floyd, Peter Wolf.
All the all-stars.
I played with so many people. It was so much fun. Brian Ferry, I toured with him. Michael Bolton was my last tour. But then I kind of said, either you got to quit this and do something else or you're going to kill yourself, you know.
And that's how you kind of arrived where you are right now?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. I had to go into a humility stage of humbling myself down to not hanging out, nothing, disappearing, and focusing and reading the word and figuring out what was important to me. My legacy in music was great. I can say I did everything in music. You know what I mean, as far as playing. So I have no regrets about not playing now. But I love to play, so if it's worthwhile, I'll do something.
Yeah, when you can help an organization like the Kennedy
Kennedy
Center, it goes
Center,
a very long way.
I got to go see them tomorrow, the kids. As soon as I walk into the site, they go crazy.
For people who are unfamiliar, the Kennedy Center is here based in Trumbull, but it's all around the local area.
It's 29 sites in the state, I believe.
Right.
Mine was in Milford, very small one called Project Bridge. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to see my people tomorrow. I love them.
Steve's coming tomorrow.
I'm coming to see you guys. I had two of them. I call them my dance. We were the Temptations. They had music going, and I gave them steps. And every time they see me, they go like this, meaning they want to dance. Okay, let's dance. They were just so lovable.
Well, music reaches everybody. It's universal. It
universal
doesn't need
language,
words.
yeah.
It's just.
The tempo and the rhythm.
They would. But
How old are these kids you're working with?
They're not kids. I call them kids.
They're
They're adults.
They're adults.
But they're like little babies mentally.
Uh-huh.
I love them. That's all I can say.
Some of them are veterans or no? Are you working with any of the veterans?
No, I did an internship before at the VA hospital.
Right.
In the arts department and music department, so I went there and did my first internship.
Right. So using your skills as a musician to really reach
I'm using my name, my skills, and I'm learning. A lot of it is about observing and learning and being taught how things are done in that world. And I'm going to continue till I really master the field that I want to go into. That's why I say I'm going to go, by 2019, I should be able to get my master's. But I want to go beyond that for PhD.
You want to be a doctor?
Yeah, because I'm Dr. Scales now. People who call me as a musician, Dr. Scales. Yeah. So that's cool.
I hadn't thought of that as such a good last name.
Yeah, Dr. Scales. I like that a lot.
Don't worry about it. It's copywritten. Don't try to use it.
Alrighty.
And so you met with Marty, and you guys kind of have been plugging away since then.
I met with Marty. Marty was so happy. So I suggested to him, okay, I'll do this, but give me the contract to do it every year. And maybe, and I'm gonna have to go out and find out if I can, but I'm gonna try to get each year a different, a known artist to come in.
And you've got Andy this year, Andy Abels.
Andy Abels playing with me, but I'm talking about even bigger than that, and Chris and Tina also. Yeah. But Cindy Lauper lives in Connecticut, and I do know some of her people. I know Cindy somewhat. I'd like to get her to come in and sing.
It's a possible 2017 guest.
Yes,
Cindy's coming to the.
I'd
Jazz
love to get somebody like that, but I'll get somebody.
Sure.
I can get somebody to come.
You've got a lot of friends and a lot of connections in the industry, that's for sure.
Yeah, they still know me a little bit.
They haven't forgotten about you?
No, not yet. I still can get around and say, hey, how you doing? But yes, I'm looking forward to doing this show and more shows for them. Because the foundation that I'm doing it for, it's in my heart. It's for a good cause.
Right.
You know, it's not about making money or, you know, somebody trying to get over a scheme. This is a legitimate cause, the mentally ill, and they need as much help as possible.
Assistance as possible. Yeah, I know talking with Marty last week,
it's a nonprofit.
They have a lot of hurdles to
it's a nonprofit organization, so you got to get out there and do what you can to bring in people to give money.
Right. And that's what this concert's for.
Yeah, so I don't know if they had concerts before this. They may have. But I think this is a big endeavor for them right now. This is a new thing for them.
It should be a great show. There's so many artists that are going to be there.
Yeah, well, we're all playing together with me. And
have you ever played at Stage 1 or no?
Oh, I've played with Chris and Tina at Stage 1. I played with Bernie Worrell at Stage 1. I played with some other guys. I mean, but I always come in as a guest, you know, like Chris and Tina will come in. Steve, can you come down and hang out? Yeah, I'll be there.
I'll jam out.
Yeah, I'll jam. I got free food. I don't drink anymore, so that's cool, you know.
Yeah, and then so, of course, there's food and everything there on Saturday night. The pre-party kicks off at 7.
At 7 o'clock?
You guys are starting to play music at 8:30?
Yeah, but we'll be there about 2.
Oh, really? Okay,
we have load in and sound check, because we have to really get it together. We had one rehearsal, and I think, well, I have a copy of the song we were working on, and that came out really good. So I'm looking for, and that was the hardest one for us to get. So now we'll get the rest at soundcheck, and we'll be prepared for a great show.
Awesome. And for people that want tickets, call 203-365-8522, extension 229.
Yeah, come on down.
Of course, there's the KennedyCenterInc.org, and then I'm sure you can get tickets off the FDC website.
I believe so.
FairfieldTheater.org.
Yes, I believe so.
And tickets are still available for those who want some good music for a good cause?
Well, come. If it's not, come on, stuff the place. You know what I mean? We'll open the doors and let the people outside here if you do, you know.
Taking it to the street,
yeah,
so to speak.
Hello. Hello.
And Steve, thank you so much for coming on. We've got a clip that is going to send us to our first commercial break. I believe it's the Talking Heads, and She Was.
And She Was. I did record this tune.
All right, awesome. Thanks so much, Steve.
Thank you very much. God bless you. Have a great day.
You too.
Wonderful. You guys are great. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Goodbye, people. Rock and roll.
She was lying in the grass, and she could hear the highway breathing, and she could see a nearby factory. She's making sure she is not dreaming. See the lights of her neighbor's house. Now she's starting to rise. Take a minute to concentrate, and she opens up her eyes.
Shop is a unique store because it's a family store. A busy mom can come in with kids in tow and find everything she needs for them, and even find a dress for herself for Saturday night. And if she's in a rush, she can simply go home and order it from us that night. We'll deliver it the next day. The Darien Sport Shop. We're pretty on the outside and amazing on the inside. Conveniently located with free and easy parking at 1127 Post Road, Darien, Connecticut. Or shop us online at dariensport.com.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
In Pound Ridge since 1993, the Wine Connection is one of America's best wine shops. Visit our beautiful store for the greatest in wine and knowledgeable service. With wonderful values from around the world to collectibles for your cellar, we are your one-stop source. Visit our online shop at wineconn.com and make sure to sign up for email updates. With great offers, new arrivals, and special events, don't miss all the action at The Wine Connection, including tastings every weekend. The Wine Connection, located at 32 Westchester Avenue, Pound Ridge, New York.
Do you do a lot of running around but get nowhere when you're buying a car? Visit Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram for the one-stop buying experience and stop spinning your wheels.
It's the new year. The to-do list is long and it's easy to feel pulled in many directions at once. Your professional personal shoppers at Walter Stewart's are ready to check groceries off your list by shopping for you. Save extra time this year and spend it doing more important things. Great food and wine delivered to your home with the same-day service. Shop Stewart's online at stewartsmarket.com.
I'm Kate Chaplinsky. Join us for Coffee Break, weekdays at 11 to get the latest Connecticut news, weather, high school sports, and more. News doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break on the HAN network.
This fall for our red panda. That's right. Roshan the red panda will be visiting the Beardsley Zoo for a limited time. Resembling raccoons, red pandas primarily eat bamboo, but will occasionally eat fruits, berries, young leaves, and certain tree bark, like their better-known black and white cousins. As an adult, Roshan is expected to weigh 10 to 12 pounds, and you can see him at the South American Rainforest exhibit, Connecticut's Beardsley Zoo of Bridgeport. A whole new experience. 875 Noble Avenue, Bridgeport. 203-394-6565. This fall.
Welcome back to Arts and Leisure on the HAN network. We're now going to do our Han Reel segment. We're going to be talking about movies about disasters at sea, and there are plenty of those.
Lots of water. Lots of water.
There are so many of them dating back to the early parts of Hollywood history. It's crazy how much that genre has...
Just the Titanic alone takes up a huge swath of movie history.
You've got 2 Titanics, you've got 2 Poseidon Adventures, you have...
Oh, there's more than 2 Titanics.
Oh, is there really?
Yeah.
I was going to say there's a bunch of mutinies. There's a bunch of the Kane Mutiny, which is one of my favorites. We'll get to that. There's pirates. But of course, we're without Mark Schumann, so we need a little bit of alliteration. And I'm going to be Mark's fill-in for today, and hopefully I do him justice with this. The key ingredients for a disaster at sea movie are waves, wetness, you have awakenings, and withdrawn. And so withdrawn is isolation. A lot of these characters are isolated characters.
Yeah, Robert Redford comes right to mind.
Right. All Is Lost, the one that came out last or 2 years ago.
That makes me seasick, that one.
Every single one of them, though, the characters, in addition to being isolated, there are characters that are kind of asleep and they need to be awoken in some regard. That's kind of one of the themes that throughout these movies.
Discovery, they
find... They need to kind of self-discover themselves through being lost on the water, whether it's being in a hurricane or if it's being hijacked by a pirate or going through, maritime court with mutinies and stuff like that.
Or riding in a lifeboat with a tiger.
Or I was going to say tigers, sharks.
Yeah.
And then one of my all-time favorite ones, we'll get to the all-time favorite list, but you can't forget Steve Zissou, The Life Aquatic. I don't even know what it is that they're looking for. Is it a great whale or is it some great fish?
Or some
it's
plankton, who knows?
There's Bill Murray up there. Someone's got to get Bill Murray an Oscar one of these days. Oh, man, that's a great one. And so we're talking about these maritime movies, of course, because The Finest Hours came out last Friday. We're doing a backward reversal.
They did a pretty good box office, too.
Yeah, it did a good job. Yeah, we missed that one last week. We did the Coen Brothers, which is now coming out Friday.
Yeah.
We're in reverse mode. It's okay, though. We got Chris Pine, Casey Affleck, Eric Bana. There's a lot of stars in this movie.
I thought
really
they
good
were
cast.
kind of like second tier, though. I mean, these are not the names. Like, it's not a George Clooney movie.
No, it's not Perfect Storm, where you've got George Clooney,
Mark Wahlberg,
you have Mark Wahlberg,
John C. Reilly,
right? William Fincher. Yeah, you have all the. And who's the woman? Is it Diane Lane? Is the
Diane
love
Lane,
interest, of course.
Yeah.
There's the Perfect Storm. Yeah. But of course, this is the 1952 rescue by the U.S. Coast Guard. Great story.
Yeah.
And one of the kind of consistent things is, you're right, Chris Pine isn't George Clooney yet, but he is kind of working his way up that kind of Hollywood ladder. You see him doing Star Trek, and he's becoming bigger and bigger of a star. These movies really do attract stars. And not just big people in front of the camera, behind the camera, too. Some of the best directors in Hollywood have tried their bit, and of course, Ang Lee won Best Director 2 years ago for Life of Pi, which you mentioned earlier.
Right. James Cameron.
You can't forget about James Cameron.
And Titanic.
You've got Paul Greengrass, who did Captain Phillips 2 years ago as well with Tom Hanks. So you have all these big stars. Leonardo DiCaprio has been at sea.
Yeah, Wolfgang Peterson did
The Perfect Storm. That's a great one. That's
and
underrated.
he did Das Boot, too, so
he
he's got a lot of
now,
water
does Das Boot qualify? That was my kind of question. Do these submarine movies qualify as being lost at sea?
Well,
because they know what they're getting into. Whereas like in the Titanic, they don't know that's what they're getting into, is like being lost at sea.
Yeah, if you have that element of unexpected disaster. Yeah. I mean, the guys on the boat on the Perfect Storm obviously knew they were going
They knew exactly what they were getting into. And same with this, The Finest Hours. Chris Pine knows exactly where he's going.
Oh, yeah.
He's got to rescue Casey Affleck on the boat.
That little rescue boat is just amazing.
It doesn't look like it's going to stand up against the waves.
You know, I read this story several years ago. I think it was
it's based on a book, right?
Yeah, well, I think there was a piece in the New Yorker, or maybe it was the New York Times. And just reading about it, it was hard to visualize how they did what they did. And now to see it on the screen, I think is going to be really exciting.
Another W is withstand. These people can endure a whole lot.
Yeah.
Whether it's cold water, whether it's... There's an image from Titanic, which I think we have in the folder of all the furniture and the water, and Leo and Kate Winslet are kind of just like slushing. There it is. Yeah, I love that. That's a great one. But whether it's a lot of water, whether it's cold temperatures, or electricity going out, there's a lot of bad stuff that could be happening on the ocean. And then of course you have sharks and all the sea life that could eat you alive.
Yes. So if we start just talking about Titanic, A Night to Remember was a film in 1958.
Is that the first one? Or
I think that was one of the first.
I thought there was an older Titanic that was in like the 40s.
There may have been. I didn't find that when I was looking back on some of them. But A Night to Remember was a really outstanding version of that. But what I thought was interesting about it was pre-computer generated.
So you didn't have the effects of
James
effects. Cameron's Titanic.
You really you just see like a toy boat sinking into the water, and you know it's a toy boat.
Yeah.
It's very unrealistic. So it really depended much more about the faces of the people, close up.
So the actors had to do even a better job than usual.
Whereas, when you look at A Perfect Storm, I mean, that wave.
It looks real.
It looks so real. And you're just pulling with that boat. You're trying to get him over the top.
That wave is quite the adversary.
Yeah, that
gives them a good run for their money.
That was it.
And they know what they're doing. They're kind of a little disobedient and stubborn, which is more features of these characters in these movies. They go out in the high seas and they know what they're risking. Even to some extent with Captain Phillips, with Tom Hanks' character, he has that scene before he leaves with his wife where she's like, "Why are you doing this?" And he's like, "Oh no, it'll be fine."
Yeah.
But he knows deep down, this is the situation that could happen.
Yes.
And they're very prepared for it too, you know what I mean? It's not like they didn't see it coming. They know that these are kind of the perils of their situation, being on the ocean. So what's one of your favorite from this genre of
Well, I
disaster
I
movies
go
that are set at the.
I
at
go
sea.
back to one from when I was a kid, which I saw on TV, and it was old then, which is Captain's Courageous, which is a rich kid falls off an ocean liner.
Oh.
Disaster at sea, right?
I always
He's
have fear of that when I'm around on a cruise. I'm always
picked
like,
up
I don't want to do that.
by a fishing boat, and he becomes a man while learning to be a fisherman. While they're fishing, they're not going to just sail in and drop the little rich brat off. They're going to
Sure, they're going out
finish
for a
their
mission.
run,
Yeah,
and they're going to. Spencer Tracy won an Oscar for his role.
Really?
Yeah, he was a Portuguese fisherman who
That's homework for
takes
me.
this kid on. Yeah, it's a wonderful film, and I know it's available on Amazon. He takes this kid, Freddie Bartholomew is the actor, under his wing, but the cast is Freddie Bartholomew, who was like the boy actor at the time, Spencer Tracy, Lionel Barrymore,
Oh my God,
John Carradine,
that is a lineup.
and more. And
That's Keith's father, John Carradine.
yes, yeah, he's the old man.
Unbelievable.
And
That's incredible.
In the end, I won't tell you what happens,
All right,
but
yeah,
it's
don't.
very sad, and have Kleenex ready.
All right, I'll have to get that
But
one
it's
on Amazon
it's
this
a
weekend.
great filmed on a boat. I mean, they were not doing it in a pool, I don't think.
No.
It didn't look like it. It looked like they were out on the water.
That's one of those things
Same
about these
goes
genres. You
for-
can't really fake it. You have to.
Well,
you have
to
to get a
s-
little wet.
To some extent,
Yeah.
you do. Same goes for Moby Dick, the one with that John Huston directed.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
Gregory Peck is Ahab.
Mm-hmm.
They actually were killing whales in the filming of that movie. I did not realize that. I was
Wow.
just reading about that this morning.
That's when it was like kosher, though. They've kind of
yeah,
outlawed
this was
that practice.
this was done in 1956.
Maritime law was a lot more open and wild back in the day.
Yeah,
There's a lot more restrictions now.
but I was really shocked that that John Huston. I guess he was a pretty stern, as they say, director.
Oh yeah, he's like the Clint Eastwood, what Clint is today.
Yeah.
Surprised Clint's never done a stuck at sea kind of movie.
This is well, yeah.
Maybe it's coming up. Who knows?
He's got time.
Any other good ones on your list, or do you have any least favorites?
Well, I think everybody goes to Waterworld.
Waterworld, that's a good one. How could I have even forgot the Kevin Costner one? I forgot to get an image of that even.
Yeah, we've got him. We've got him.
Joe with the assist. There it is.
Yeah.
There's Kevin Costner. Yeah, that's everyone's go-to when they say like bad, over the top movie.
But another one
Waterworld.
I just wanted to throw in, and this is probably homework for you too, is The Unsinkable Molly Brown, which is another Titanic movie.
Really?
Well, in a kind of a stretch, but this is a musical.
Oh.
Meredith Willson music, stars Debbie Reynolds and Harve Presnell.
Do they sing about icebergs or no?
No, well, it starts with I Ain't Down Yet, and we go from there. But she ends up on the Titanic, which
Oh, okay.
and in a lifeboat.
So it's like a full
and
circle
rousing
type
everyone up that they're not going to sink because she's the unsinkable Molly Brown.
And then
but
we know exactly what happens.
No, she survives.
Oh,
Really,
she survives.
does.
Okay,
Yeah.
so she really is unsinkable.
Yes, she is. It's a good film, and that's 1964, nice color version, no CGI.
Right.
The sinking is not really a huge part of the movie.
It's
but,
not like the Titanic sinking where the boat
but it is the
rips in half.
Titanic. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the James Cameron where you've got the
Yeah.
people are falling off and Leo and
Oh,
Kate
and
Winslet are hanging on for dear life.
Which reminds me, speaking of least favorite, most horrible disaster films, Poseidon Adventure.
Oh yeah, Poseidon's. I think we have a photo of that one too.
Yeah.
That's definitely one of my least favorite of the genre. I have a couple. Master and Commander, I was not a fan of. I thought that was a
Really?
big disappointment. Yeah, I
I
was so
liked
excited
it.
to see it. Yeah, I know a lot of people do like it. I thought it was not as good. And K-19, The Widowmaker, I was really disappointed in too for a movie that stars Liam Neeson and Harrison Ford. I thought that could
Yeah.
have been a lot better.
Yeah.
Especially with submarines, it's a cool topic. You don't get to see a lot of movies. There's U-571 with Matthew McConaughey, but other than that, and
Hunt
K-19,
for Red October.
and then Das Boot. Oh yeah, and Hunt for Red October. I forgot to include a photo of that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So you came prepared, Sally.
I've been working it.
I missed Waterworld and The Hunt for Red October. No love for the mid '90s. I think we said it. Life Aquatic's definitely got to be one of my favorites. I love that movie. Jaws is a great one. Kane Mutiny.
Yeah. I had not considered Kane Mutiny, but of course that's a good one.
I think. I mean, they're there on the boat. I mean, you gotta. It's not a survival film in the sense of like All Is Lost or like The Finest Hours, where people are kind of bearing against the elements, but it's got a lot of ocean themes.
Had you thought about Lifeboat, Alfred Hitchcock's film?
Oh, I have not seen Lifeboat.
It's very interesting. It's a 1944 film, and it's based on a John Steinbeck story.
That sounds right up my alley.
Starring Tallulah Bankhead and a bunch of really good actors.
I've got a lot of homework this weekend.
Yeah.
I've got the whole Alfred Hitchcock collection at home. I'll have to check
All right,
that one out.
we'll check that one out because it's very dark, of course.
It's a horror movie?
Not exactly
sort of.
horror, but stressful.
That brings me up to one of my other least favorite movies is Open Water, that horror movie that came out in 2004.
I am not familiar with it.
Terrible. That is probably the worst of the entire genre. Joe's nodding his head because he knows exactly what I'm
What's
talking
the thesis? People fall in the water and
They
then...
I think they are scuba diving and their boat leaves them. Is that right, Joe? And it's just like...
I think I only caught the first.
Yeah, no, it's unwatchable. Like, the plot is so, like, it's just them in open water. It's really bad.
And sharks circling.
Right. If you want to watch a shark movie, just go watch Jaws. Like, Jaws is the original. Jaws
It is appealing to a real fear that people have of being in the water with sharks circling.
Oh yeah, no. Every time I'm in like on a beach setting, it's like I'm like if I feel something around me, I'm like, oh, you twitch. That's all because of Jaws. One on my list as well, although it's not a true Lost at Sea movie, but The Master with Joaquin Phoenix and Philip Seymour Hoffman. There's so many scenes where they're in the boat.
In a sailboat.
And the boat has the kind of like is probably the biggest like setting of all. And they have their key dialogues are on the boat, and Philip Seymour Hoffman's kind of a religious figure, and he's running the religion from this boat essentially, and that's how he keeps, escaping prosecution. Is that he has this boat to go around, and that's how they travel.
Oh God, that just it makes me think of the film with Bill Nighy and Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, Pirate Radio.
Pirate Radio.
Yeah, that's a good one. I forgot to get an image of that one. I like that one.
Yeah.
That's like a comedy, but they do get. I think the boat sinks, right? Memory serves.
I can't remember, but
the boat always sinks. That or the pirates come on board.
Yeah.
You can't forget Captain Phillips. I feel like that one's a real staple of this genre.
Yeah.
It definitely brought the fear of being out in the open water.
And this year we had, or just this past year, we had a big...
in the Heart of the Sea. We
yeah.
kind of missed this theme in December with all the excitement over Oscars and
In the Heart of the
Star
Sea
Wars.
didn't do
No,
very
it didn't.
well. People weren't too excited
But
by
it's not
it.
surprising Ron Howard is the one who picked up that project because he wanted to have his own Moby Dick ocean experience, so to speak. He wanted to be stranded on the...
He wanted to be John Huston?
Yeah, everyone's trying to be John Huston, right? All the cool kids.
Yeah.
Well, I think that wraps up the real segment for this week. We'll be back next week, right? We're going to do movies about love and...
for Valentine's Day.
Romantic comedies, romantic dramas, all the good stuff. Next Thursday on the show, we'll also have Catherine Michaels, but we'll be back after the commercial break. We'll do a couple weekend events before we sign off. We'll be right back.
Find over 1,000 special stories at Hospital for Special Surgery. Go to hss.edu/backinthegame.
I was jogging 5 months after my cartilage tear.
Skiing a year after hip surgery.
And playing grandma 4 weeks after hip replacement.
One special hospital, 1,000 special stories. See Connecticut patients at hss.edu/CT.
I really wanted something that felt like a home. Coming from a big house, I wanted the feel of a home as opposed to a condo. The construction is incredible, whether it's the floors, the fireplace, the moldings, the lighting. It's as peaceful as my home was in the middle of the woods. It feels like a house. It does not feel like a condo or a townhome. I feel like I'm in my house.
You are watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. Nearly 500,000 viewers enjoyed our broadcast in the first 5 months. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Jessica Murrin, Advertising Director, at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
I'm Denise DiGregoli, the host of The Drive on the HAN Network. Join me Tuesdays for some motivational, intelligent talk with a little humor as we visit with people who live their lives mindfully. Tune in to The Drive live on Tuesdays, 12:30, here on the HAN Network.
Welcome back to Arts and Leisure on HAN Network. We've got a busy weekend roundup. Super Bowl Sunday is coming, but before that arrives, we've got 48 hours of fun adventure with a lot of cool stuff going on.
Yeah, if you're not in your kitchen cooking things.
Right.
For the
yeah,
big
football's not
party.
your thing. There's plenty of other things to do this weekend in the area.
Yeah. Well, and tomorrow evening, the town players of New Canaan are going to stage the Connecticut premiere of John Robin Bates' Other Desert Cities, which was a finalist for the 2012 Pulitzer Prize for Drama and got 5 Tony nominations.
5? Wow.
Yeah. So opening night is Friday, February 5th. That's tomorrow night at 8. At the Powerhouse Theater in Waveney Park in New Canaan, and the performances are going to run through February 20th on weekends. But we're going to let the characters introduce themselves with this video that was provided by the players. That should be coming right up.
Town Players of New Canaan presents Other Desert Cities by John Robin Bates. Meet the Wyeth family.
I'm Trip Wyeth, and I like Christmas. I mean, I like a lot of things. Family drama, not so much. This Christmas, I've escaped my stressful LA life to visit my sister and my parents in Palm Springs. I just want to relax and make sure that we have a good holiday. And I think we should enjoy each other's company while we still can. But it won't be easy. See, Brooke has written a book about our family, and she wants our parents' approval to publish it. It dredges up a painful experience that my very proud and very private parents would prefer to just leave in the past. And Brooke wants me to convince them it's okay. Yeah.
I'm Lyman Wyeth. I've been a movie actor and later an ambassador, a full life. But none of that means as much as my children. And they're here for Christmas. Trip has his own reality TV show. Not my thing, but he loves it. And Brooke has had problems with depression. She's fine now, but we need her to feel safe. She's just finished her second book. Writing helps. I'm told that I'll get angry with her if I read it, so I don't plan to. I don't want to upset my baby.
I'm Brooke Wyeth. I'm a writer, good writer. My last book was pretty successful, but after it was published, I went into a funk, a deep funk, but now I'm good. Faced my demons, and I conquered them by writing about them in a family memoir, which sold pretty easily, probably because my parents are mini celebrities. They're not going to be happy about it, but I am hoping that they will approve. They will if they want what's best for me. I think they do.
I'm Silda Grauman. I'm sober today. I live in Palm Springs under the wings of my sister Polly. She and I used to be so close. We even wrote Hollywood scripts together. So much fun. But now, she's a staunch Republican and hangs out with Nancy Reagan. She raised her kids to be strong. But Henry couldn't do it, and now he's gone. Brooke has written a book exposing her mother for what she is, and I am all for it. When the sun goes down tonight, Polly will have had 3 cocktails, and I'll still be sober. God, that sucks.
I'm Polly Wyeth. I love my husband. I love my children. I have done everything I can to make them strong and to keep them safe. They are bright, talented, and successful, and I'm proud of them. But now my daughter Brooke wants to publish a memoir, which would reopen a chapter in our lives that must stay within the family. I need to tell her that if she publishes it, she would lose us forever.
Other Desert Cities by John Robin Bates opens at the Powerhouse Theater in New Canaan on February 5th and runs through February 20th. Visit tpnc.org.
And there you have it, Other Desert Cities.
Yeah, so that was Julie Thaxter Gourlay as in the pivotal role of Brooke Wyeth. She's the author.
Mm-hmm.
And Maureen Cummings as the matriarch Polly Wyeth, and Larry Gabbard as Trip, the brother. And Will Jeffries is Lyman Wyeth, the very distinguished father. And Nancy Sinacori is Silda Grauman, the sister of Polly. And Tom Butterworth, who's a staple at Town Players, is directing. So for tickets, visit tpnc.org or call 203-966-7371. And fun in Ridgefield coming
There's
up.
a lot of fun in Ridgefield. It wouldn't be February without a cocktail party. The Aldridge Museum's hosting First Friday's Contemporary Cocktail Party of 2016. It's going to take place tomorrow, Friday, February 5th from 7 to 9 p.m. with music from the Connecticut-based band O. Cassius. The evening includes light fare and wine and museum guided tours of Painting in 4 Takes, which is an exhibition they have there. Admission is $20. For more information, visit aldridgeart.org or call 203-438-4519. They're showing one of the 4...
we have it on the screen
there
right now.
There it is, yeah. That's Metacopter by, Stephen DiBenedetto?
DiBenedetto, yeah.
DiBenedetto, yeah. Why did I butcher that so badly?
That's from the collection of Kevin Brooke in Miami, and
Right,
it's
from Miami, yeah.
being shown courtesy of the David Nolan Gallery.
That's a cool looking
Yeah,
painting
the
right
more
there.
you look at it, the more
There's
beautiful
a lot
it gets.
to it.
Yeah.
Um,
So, and then also on Friday night, we have another play opening, which is Eastbound Theater's production of Hollywood Arms. That's based on the memoir written by Carrie Hamilton and her mother, Carol Burnett. So that show will be running February 5th through 21st at the Arts Council, which is at 40 Railroad Avenue South in Milford. And Chris Peterson's directing that show. Performances are Fridays and Saturdays at 8 and Sundays at 2. Tickets are $20 and $18 for seniors and $5 for students. If you'd like to make reservations, visit milfordarts.org or call 203-878-6647.
Of course, that's not the only thing that's going on this weekend. The Chinese New Year came in on Monday, February 1st, and they're going to have a celebration for it on Saturday, February 6th from 10 to 5. Workshops, talks, performances for all ages in celebration of the Year of the Monkey.
Ooh, lion dances
Yeah, the
too.
lion dance is going to begin at 10 a.m. on Whitney Avenue, New Haven, between Grove Street and Trumbull Street. Then this goes indoors at the New Haven Museum, which is located at 114 Whitney Avenue. The Council on East Asian Studies at Yale is going to be hosting a program at, is it Luce Hall?
Yeah.
34 Hill House Avenue. And the Yale China Association, located at 442 Temple Street, is also going to be having a event there as well. For more information, visit yalechina.org/LunarFest. Registration is required for some of the activities.
One of the nice programs that the Wilton Library does is their Hot and Cool Jazz.
Ooh.
And this weekend they're going to have Fred Hirsch, who's going to be there on Saturday night from 7:30 to 9. He's a Grammy Award nominated pianist, composer, and band leader, and in 2006 he was the first artist in the 75-year history of New York's Village Vanguard to play a week-long engagement as a solo artist. Big deal.
Yeah.
They suggest a $10 donation, but they really strongly recommend that you register in advance for this performance and get there by 7:20 if you've registered. They'll let walk-ins in after that. So to register, the Wilton Library is at 137 Old Ridgefield Road in Wilton Center. The website is wiltonlibrary.org, and their phone number is 203-762-3950.
Arts and Leisure is not just all about Connecticut. The Katona Museum of Art is also hosting an event this weekend. They're going to be turning itself over to aspiring young artists who not only create art for the Young Artists Show, but also work with museum and art professionals to organize, publicize, curate, and mount their own exhibitions. Young Artists 2016 will open Sunday, February 7th, and be on view for the following 2 weeks up through Sunday, February 21st. Museum hours are noon through 5 p.m. on Sundays and 10 to 5 Tuesday through Saturdays. The museum is located at 134 J Street, Route 22 in Katona. For more information, visit katonamuseum.org or call 914-232-9555. 9555, sorry.
Yeah.
As always, visit arts.hersamacorn.com. No, it's arts@hersamacorn.com for more information about
And I have
events.
one more I want to throw in
Sure, why not?
before we go. The No Child Left Outside winter program of the Connecticut DEEP was supposed to be snowshoeing and sliding, and
there's no snow.
And there's no ice skating. So they've
Canceled
changed
or
the,
no?
no, they've changed the program. They're going to have fishing and a fish fry, and they're going to do a rescue demonstration.
How about that?
And
for
they're going to have a
adaptation?
marshmallow roast and wildlife activities and hiking and more. This is at Burr Pond State Park, 384 Burr Mountain Road in Torrington, Connecticut.
Oh,
and
near my grandparents.
Yeah, and for more information, you can call 860-424-3110. So get outside.
Yeah,
it's going to be nice this
I was going
weekend.
to say there's reason to be outside. There's a lot of good weather so far, and hopefully the rain's gone.
Yeah.
And that's all for our show today. We'd like to thank Steve Scales for coming on.
Yeah, he was great.
That was a lot of fun, and we'll be back next Thursday. We'll talk some movies about love. We'll have some etiquette from Catherine. Yeah. Catherine Michaels will be on the couch with us, and we'll see you next Thursday. Go Broncos on Sunday, and have a great weekend.
May Payton.